The man charged in the murders of 6-year-old Isabel Celis and 13-year-old Maribel Gonzalez is trying to have the murder cases broken into two separate trials. 6-year-old Isabel Celis and 13-year-old Maribel Gonzalez disappeared about 2 years apart. Maribel Gonzalez's body was found 3 days after she was reported missing. 5 years went by before the remains of Isabel Celis were found and identified. Because they were juveniles, the attorneys referred to the girls as IC and MB. These are earlier pictures of Christopher Clements. He was not in court for this latest hearing. Prosecutors say the two cases tie together and tie to Clements because when Clements tried to bargain his way out of some unrelated charges, he led FBI agents to Celis remains in a remote part of Avra Valley. Celis remains were less than a mile from where Maribel Gonzalez's body was found. Investigators say they found traces of Clements' DNA on the older girl's body. Clements' attorneys are trying to convince Superior Court Judge Deborah Bernini it is not fair to try Clements for both murders in one trial. They argue Clements wants to testify in his own defense in the Celis case.
It's imperative that he testifies in counts 1 through 3. He has to explain how he led investigators to the IC's remains back in March of 2017. He has to explain that. He has to take the stand and explain that.
Defense attorneys argue if he does testify and the two murders are in one trial, he would be vulnerable to prosecutors' questions in Maribel Gonzalez's murder while he's on the witness stand. Prosecutors argue similar crimes in similar locations for the remains tie the cases together. Judge Bernini did not rule right away. She will take some time to decide the issue of separate trials and decide on what evidence jurors will be able to consider. Craig Smith, KGUN 9 on your side.